Yeah, for me, it's obvious that this directive encroach the right to security, both protected by the Canadian, protected by both the Canadian Charter of Rights and Quebec Charter of Rights. Because think about it, you go to the emergency. I mean, the public servants have to follow the directive 100%. They don't have any discretion on that. They have to apply it, right? If they don't do so, they can lose their job. So they will apply the directive. So they're going to ask you, where's your certificate? You're going to say, yeah, whatever. I mean, you can be in the coma, you can be, or your certificate could be at your place, whatever, you know. So it will encroach the right security. For me, that's pretty obvious, especially when you consider the fact that I've been told, and it's everyone knows that that the certificates are pretty hard to obtain as of now, because you went to school in 1982, you asked to the ministry like in 2024, they just lost your file, whatever. So there's a lot of stories saying that those certificates are really hard to obtain right now. So in other words, this directive is not only unconstitutional, but it's also a nonsense in a way that you're just trying to divide people for no reason. The only reason they why they do that is for political gains. I'm saying we're protecting French, but there's no way you protect French in putting people health and security in jeopardy. Actually, Gouvernement Legault loves it when liberals at the federal level are not happy with its policies, right? Because it creates some sort of division that I talked about, saying, "See, this is Ottawa. Ottawa is looking in our stuff. That's our jurisdiction. Ottawa has nothing to do with it. Blah 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 blah." So it helps that kind of divisions, and this is sad, frankly, because in a way, I'm not sure if Madame Guinea is right about the healthcare stuff she mentioned. As I said at the beginning, we need to think about it, but it's a very interesting avenue. But if she's right, and she might be right, I mean, the Canadian healthcare bill is necessarily a federal jurisdiction, because Ottawa provides a lot of money to each and every provinces at the condition that they respect the bill itself. So if Quebec or any other provinces does not respect it, I mean, it's just pretty normal that Ottawa is like, okay, well, you don't respect my bill, so too bad, there's going to be a penalty of this and of that. This is how the bill works, and this is how the rule of law works. And we want to live in a democracy that is based on rule of law, and this means that in certain ways, Ottawa will have the right to intervene in Quebec policies, right? But think about one thing. If you have a directive of 31 pages, do you seriously think that the nurse working at the emergency would have read the whole 31 pages and will remember each and any exception provided by the 31 pages directive? I mean, don't you think that those nurse, doctors, people who beneficiary, all of those people, don't you think that they have quite enough on their shoulders right now not to try to interpret a directive that is that long? Because don't forget the other thing. When you have a directive like that, it brings necessarily what we call arbitrary, right? And when it's arbitrary, and I'm not talking about discretion, I'm talking about arbitrary. So when you talk about arbitrary, this is also an encroachment to the Constitution. This is also an encroachment to the Charter of Rights, because the same law should apply to each and every one. But when you don't know how to do it, when you don't know how to apply it, when it's unreasonable to think that public servants will know what to do in this particular case or not, this is another avenue for challenging the directive, in the sense that this is unconstitutional because of its arbitrarian obvious side, I would say.